Maureen was a normal young girl. She wanted to feel good about herself. She wanted a boyfriend. She liked a few boys at her school. There was one boy who had sent her name message on her phone. The boy had not talked to her much at school, but he was very nice in his text messages. He told her how good she looked. This made her feel good. She was starting to like him. But then he asked her to send a picture of herself in just her underwear. She was not sure it's a good idea, but he promised that he would not show it to anyone else. So Maureen took the picture. Then she sent it. The next day, she knew she had missed a big mistake. Today's spotlight is on sexting. Sexting is sending, receiving, or forwarding sexual messages or pictures, usually through mobile telephone. Sexting is very common, but it creates problems, and the problem do not always have easy solutions. Sexting is full of risks. And 2050, a Japanese reporter was fired from his job for sharing a picture of his penis. He was trying to share it with 1%. Instead, he shares with 100 people he works with. A similar thing happened in 2011 to politician from the United States, and over the 5 years, private photos and many famous actors have been stolen and shared on the internet. No one of the photos has planned to share with the world. But Sexting is not just for famous people. The American Psychological Association has studied sexting. In a 2050 online survey, 82% of the people said that they had sexted in the year before. 75% of these people sent messages within committed relationship. That is, the people in the relationship were loyal to each other. This research shows that many people are sexting. But is sexting a good thing or a bad thing? Emily Stackel presented this research to the APA. She said, sexting does require more study, but this research shows a strong relationship between sexting and being happy with a sexual relationship. Stackel says that sexting can be a many healthy relationships. But remember Maureen from the beginning of this program, she was not in relationship. She was only 20 years old. Sexting is very common with young people. Yesterday, Conrad reported modern story for the Washington Post newspaper. She wrote, Satan is part of the very school. It does not matter if it is rich or poor, in a city or small town, or if it is big, is small. As younger kids get phones, the issue becomes more complex. After Maureen sent the picture to the boy, he told he had sold the picture to a few of the people, but it was not true. He had sold it to many people. Soon most of her school had seen the picture. Maureen's teacher even called her parents. Other students began to bother unkind to Maureen's social media accounts. They called her terrible name and told her to kill herself. Maureen stopped going to school. Her parents took away her phone. She even tried to kill herself during this time. Her parents took her to a professional counselor to talk about the situation. This helped, and after several weeks, she was able to go back to school. Maureen knew the risk in sending the picture. So why would someone like Maureen send picture like this? Maybe she did it because it is so common. A girl from Maureen school to Jessica Contreras and 6th or 7th grade people studying sexting. The popular girls would send sex to the popular boys. I would find about it and say, "You know that's wrong, right?" I did not think it were a good idea, but everyone was doing it, so I just felt like I had to. When adults said bad things can happen with the pictures, they might lose their job, or they may feel ashamed. But when children said very bad things can happen, without meaning to, they are creating child pornography or porn. And many countries, child pornography is illegal. In the United States and the United Kingdom, there are very strong laws about the grading of owning pictures of children under 10 who do not clothes on, but the laws were not made for situations where young people take and send the pictures themselves. Some countries had tried to stop this problem by banning or setting. They may block your phone if you set someone. Other countries had different laws, but no country celebrates child pornography. Many countries had not yet discovered how to solve the difficult problem. Setting can be risky for every person. When you share a picture, it should not go away. If it is on the internet, it can go anywhere, and anyone can see it. Many people choose to set it even when they know the risk. So if you are going to set, there are some ways to protect yourself. Do not include picture of your face. This will make it more difficult to identify you. Using apps like Snapchat. These kinds of apps delete a picture a few seconds a person sees it. Do not feel pressure from someone else to send a picture. If you do not want to send someone a picture, you do not have to. It does not matter how many times they ask. Never send a picture to someone you do not know. It will not make them like you. Never send a picture to someone you do not trust. Do not drink alcohol and sex. Do not keep photos on your phone for a long time. Delete or send pictures. You never know what someone will do if they bother you first. And remember that even when you follow this advice, you can still get hurt. What do you think about setting? It is a good thing or a bad thing? Has anything bad happened to you because of setting? Tell us what you think. You can leave a comment on a website or email us at radio or radioenglish.net. You can also comment on Facebook and facebook.com/Spotlight Radio.